Hello and welcome to this episode of Making Connections, the BattleCON analysis show where I, your host, Marco dos Santos, become an overlord and try not to do so badly at BattleCON Online. In this episode, we're gonna play the newly released character, Lord Caringot Rexen. So what am I waiting for? Let's get to the game. Alright, so welcome to the game. It's my Rexen against Black X Heart. Is that like a Marvel vs. Capcom reference? It's Black Heart's Anath. Alright, so Rexen is a very interesting character. He is most definitely a brawler. Let's see, the UA card. See, this symbol proves it. He is indeed a brawler. He's essentially a trader. He has a lot of options that allow him to hit the opponent easily. But the thing is that his power and priority values aren't really that good. He makes up for it by his unique ability, which lets him curse opponents that hit him. So Rexen actually has decent stats because his curses give the opponents -1 priority and -1 power, which effectively is soak. This means that Rexen gets really good defensive options when he wants to. And this is really good when you don't really have good stats. So we want to get rid of Switch Grasp. It's not really that useful at the start of the game. It's also really weird against Anath. We want to get rid of Unyielding, that's for sure.
Now, what to do with you?
I'm gonna be weird and not do dodge. And her patience wears thin. Unfortunately, I did not lock in long enough, so I locked in my previous setup, which was Unyielding Shot and Switch Grasp. That was me doing testing in practice mode, which is unfortunate for me, but it's okay. We can survive this beat. My opponent started with Aspect of Devastation, which is Wind, which means Enervating basically beats everything they do. Right? I don't think Anath has big power. I mean, of course she can always do Havoc. She'd have to do this Havoc for it to be dangerous. I wish I had Enervating Shot. Everything is actually okay. I don't feel like Anath is gonna burst against me, mostly because I have Malediction and Drive in hand. So I definitely plan on Vainglorious striking this beat. It sounds like a good option for me. I'm just really scared of Havoc. Dread Havoc would be really scary to deal with. It would be at priority 5, so I can't really beat that. Would the best option just be to dodge? Well, I'm gonna do this, and if it ends up being the Dread Havoc, which it probably is, then I'll be a bit sad, but that's fine. Let's go! It's the Dread Havoc. Alright. So I should have done Overlords instead, which allows me to pull more. So I think now she will advance 3. So advance 2, advance 3. Oh, actually this ends up being really good. Because I get to always trade. So this is a 4-4 trade. Which isn't bad at all. Because even if she moves to range 2. Yes. I will not receive the... So I will not be stunned, which is great. Then, this is why I was playing this. Essentially, I can pull her into melee range, which means that Dread no longer activates its power minus, since it only works if range 2. And that stuns her out of Prio Aspect, which is also very good for me, because now I don't have to deal with Prio Aspect, which allows for my Malediction to be much more defensive. Ooh. That's scary. So I'm expecting Green Strike. Green Strike is a priority of -1. There is no discernible... I mean, I could do it like a mad person. But really, the more ideal move is to just play Overlord's Malediction. So this is the cool thing about Rexen, is that Rexen can mitigate damage. So by doing Overlord's Malediction, I'm able to hit the opponent and then make it so that I can't take more than 3 damage this speed. So no matter how strong your thing is, Overlord's Malediction will be stronger. Though I should probably just do Switch Malediction. Do I want to deal damage, or do you want... I will deal the damage. So I'm just literally playing this for power +1. That's literally all I'm using it for. Yes, of course, this is the thing. So the opponent has curse tokens that they can anti whenever they want. And when it hits, essentially the opponent loses power and priority, which is great. So that means my trading capabilities are that much stronger. It's a dodge. Alright. So this is not so bad. My opponent should be dodging right now, and that should result in them missing, I think. And the thing about it is that these curse tokens should come back to me after this beat, since neither of us will hit.
I march onward.
Unfortunately, I can't really do much. I could pull her a series of spaces. So I think I shall pull her one. That way, when she does Cataclysmic, she has to corner herself.
There is little time for such distraction.
Actually, no, that's not true. I don't want to do that because then I would free her up to do a shot that could destroy me. And that's not good. So if neither player hit, curses are returned. I will not move my opponent so that when she does Cataclysmic, she will end up on this side, which is... Because she could just go to the corner anyway, and then just play, like, this shot. So perhaps I want to pull her one space anyway. Yeah, I think that's optimal. So now she's cornered. And if she does try to play the shot, I can easily break through that stun guard with Devastating. Sounds about the correct move. This has been a very interesting game so far. So I picked 0 Hour as my finisher previously, and it's not very good. So you should probably just take Black Eclipse next time. This is only really... Because the thing about this is that opponents will almost always anti your curses as soon as possible. Because your unique ability only gives curses if they didn't anti-curses. Which means that if they keep antiing, you'll essentially never give them more than 1 curse. And basically this means this deals 0 damage. So that's a bit troublesome as well. I'm expecting a strike, which is at -1 priority. So I could just dodge and then take the 1 life loss, which I think I will. So I'm expecting Destruction Strike. Pass. So if neither of us hit, this curse will go back to them. So this is why it's a bit troublesome for opponents who just want to keep getting rid of the curses. If you dodge them, or if they dodge you, they don't get to get rid of it so easily. Curses don't go away that fast, you know? So we're definitely trying to recover from that early on mistake. Definitely the Destruction Strike. This was kind of to be expected. So I do want to corner myself so that I don't have to worry too much about Dread Havoc.
What course to take?
Yeah, I'll take the 1 life loss. It's fine.
A tactical necessity.
He said it himself. It is indeed a tactical necessity.
The end of days has come.
So we should return this to you. Keep the current furniture card swap. So we're gonna swap, because I don't think this is ever gonna go off. Opponents will almost always just keep anti-ing the curses. We will never be able to use the curse on the opponent. So that's fine. An aspect of ruin. This makes it so that he has soak if he is right next to me. Rather, yeah. He has soak all the time and range attacks at range 3 or greater don't hit. I have no way of pushing the opponent. And my opponent's definitely not bursting. So I'm gonna do a Vainglorious Strike. Yeah, because an Enervating Shot, a Unyielding Strike, a Drive, all of these things would destroy my opponent's attack pair. At least by doing Vainglorious Strike, I'm able to trade up against my opponent. Naturally, I will be able to trade up. Rexen's very good in terms of hit confirm. His hit confirm is massive, right? Every single attack that he has basically has range. This has a range plus 0 to 1. This has range plus 0 to 1 or full board range if my opponent antis. This one doesn't have range. This one has full board range because of start of beat, advance until adjacent. And this one lets you basically reverse spiral and pull the opponent equal to your power. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not expecting a burst right here. I don't think a lot of people would want to burst against Rexen. There you go, yeah. But this is quite unfortunate for me since I will be taking 2 damage at the 0 trade. Because my opponent can now pull me 2 and then push me 1 with Grasp. Which I think is what they're gonna do. So they have to push me. Because otherwise I'm gonna hit back. Yep. That's a good move on my opponent's part. But that gives them a curse. So now they have 2 curses. Do I want to pull the opponent 1 space? Yes, because that turns off Havoc, which forces them to dread Havoc.
Prepare yourself.
So what are you gonna change your aspect into? Nope, doesn't change the aspect. Okay. So I can Unyielding Grasp right now. And that's okay. So if my opponent decides to anti any of their curses, this will always hit. So I don't have to fear the burst. Anath isn't a very fast character, and she doesn't have her Grasp. So Unyielding Grasp actually wins a lot of trades.
What must be done.
The only thing it doesn't win against is like Dread something. So I feel very good about this attack. My opponent will most likely anti both of their curses to this beat, since they're probably not going to try to go fast anymore.
Not be stopped.
Stun Guard. I can afford to anti-power.
Such power.
Such power. They will probably anti their things. If they don't anti their curses, that's going to be very interesting for me. Because I'm going to get a really good beat then, where I trade like 4-0 against the opponent, which brings us back to even if that ever happens. In fact, even right now, even if my opponent just antis both of them right now, I think I'm good. So they antied 1, therefore Unyielding will always proc. Now it's a full board ranged attack with 4 power. That's definitely not bad. Unyielding used to be really bad of a card because it used to give negative power or something. Or was it just that it didn't actually give power? Anyway, either way, it's not very good, but now it's very good. Yep, this is what I was predicting. And that's fine. I will, at worst, take like a 4-2 trade. Okay, so my opponent now can move wherever they want. So I just have to finagle it in such a way that they end up at range 2. That way they will always miss. Oh, but then I don't deal any damage. That's very good for them, huh?
I march onward.
So advance 2, and then they advance 3. Oh, wait, what? That's literally, I think, the worst way you could have handled that. Yeah, I think they realized their mistake as well. I think they thought they were gonna miss. So anyway, now that my opponent has made this mistake, I can capitalize, push my opponent 1 space. Now they can't hit me because of their aspect.
Suffer.
Indeed, suffer. So now they can only advance 1 space, and they will miss because of this aspect's range restriction. So that's good. That's good. We're all playing fine and dandy. So that was a very good beat for me. My opponent's now forced to change aspect as well. It's just a question of which aspect. Oh no, not forced because they're not stunned. My mistake. So I think this would be the time to actually play Enervating Shot. It seems like it. Though I might be expecting a dodge this beat. My opponent chose to not change aspect, which I don't quite understand. I could Overlord's Burst, and I don't think my opponent... Oh no, never mind. There's Destruction, right? No, wait. Even then... Yeah, I could just Overlord's Burst right now and deal 3 damage for free.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
And if it's a dodge, then I didn't get rid of my good options. Yeah. I think this is good. I think this was a mistake keeping Aspect of Ruin. Maybe my opponent just lost their mind.
I have no regrets.
Alright, Overlord's Burst. Oh, one cool thing, by the way, is that you can anti-power to give Overlords more spaces to pull. If you desperately need that positioning. Ooh, Destruction Dodge. Okay. Uh-huh. So the only attacks that can hit now are... There's Strike. Actually, everything can hit. So I will do Malediction. And I think this beats everything they do.
I must decide quickly.
Yeah, definitely gonna do Malediction this beat. Ooh! Interesting. Okay, I'm definitely not gonna pull you, because you're gonna always miss at this rate. So I can't take more than 3 damage. I give you a curse. I deal 1 damage. I'm not gonna move my opponent. I'm gonna force them to change aspects out of the soak aspect. Like, let's limit your options. Because now they're basically being forced to drive at this point. There's Prio aspect. Alright. That's good. I got rid of my fast options, and now I can do crazier options. So now that you're under Prio aspect and don't have Dread Havoc, I can Enervating Shot, but most likely this is going to be a dodge. So does that mean I should dodge in response? I'll just Enervating Shot. So Enervating Shot is interesting because the opponent gets -1 power the moment they gain a token. So if my opponent is dodging, that's fine, since I'm not going to hit them anyway. Yep, they're dodging. Still absolutely okay in my opinion. So they can go here and then So they can go into this space with dodge and then end of beat move
I need a
here.
better position.
I'm gonna miss. So hopefully my opponent doesn't corner themselves. Okay. I have a feeling this will work. I also have a feeling this won't work. Actually, in this situation, I should dodge. My opponent didn't change out of aspect. This is probably some Dread Havoc play. I should set up for the next beat so that I have Malediction and Overlords again, so that I have lots of hit confirm. Also, it might be a problem that I keep using Overlords and Malediction at the same time, when I should really be separating them so I have more stats, or more range to spread about my attacks. I'm not hitting the opponent this beat, so I'm not going to counter anti. Yup, it's some sort of Havoc play. Okay, so they go first. Oh, right, they whiff. We want to stay near center.
Away with you.
Leashing Havoc would have been really scary, and would have also beaten most of my strikes if I had not antied Stun Guard in response.
I need a better position.
As Rexen, you essentially want to be at range 1 most of the time. It's just the range that most of your attacks are useful at. But now that Havoc's gone, I want to keep my current finisher. Now that Havoc's gone, we're actually sitting fine and dandy. So this is the big quote-unquote weakness of Rexan, is that he's generally a slow character, but none of his cards have Stun Guard outside of Enervating. This could be a variety of things. This is probably not Dread. So this is probably some Destruction Strike, or Abhorrent Drive, or something like that. Overall, I'm not gonna take too much damage. So I should just probably Overlord Strike. Yep.
How quaint.
Indeed, how quaint. And then I can anti-power on top of this. If my opponent antis the Curse token, they're doing power. I will counter anti-power because I have Stun Guard 5. I don't think she has any move that deals more than 5 damage. Yep. Definitely does not. I mean, more than 5 damage and hits, right? So they pass. They're not antiing the Curse token, which means that my opponent has -1 priority. Not that useful. Oh. That's really good for my opponent. Oh my gosh, Abhorrent Shot. Oh my gosh. Abhorrent Shot means I can't move them. So after they move 1 or 2 spaces, I can't pull them with Overlord Strike. That was a very good play on my opponent's part.
I'll teach you a lesson.
So they're probably going to change aspect now. Oh, they kept it. That's interesting to me. I'm definitely gonna Enervating Shot. Actually, I could Devastating Shot, anti-Stun Guard, and hit for a ton of damage. So I think that's the ideal play. I haven't played Devastating this entire game, but now that I have the opportunity, I will.
ready to act.
So essentially, Rexan's entire loop focuses around on his strike, which is
Such power.
which is the quote-unquote problem with Rexan, is that you need to basically manage your strike very well or lose horribly, which is not ideal.
Oh!
Definitely need to anti that stun guard on top just in case. Dread Strike. Okay. So since they're faster, they have to do their start of beat movement first, then I'll follow up, which means Dread will never proc. The power minus and Dread will never proc. In fact, I even stun them out of Dread Strike. Oh, this is such a good beat. Well, I don't stun them. They don't... They're faster, so... I mean, I do stun them, which... Okay, look, here's the thing. I stun them not out of Dread Strike, but I stun them out of the aspect.
Tactical necessity.
So we do a 3-something trade,
Fire rains down.
a 3-6 trade.
Do your worst.
So now my opponent is forced out of this aspect, which is very good for me, in my opinion. I just need to wait for them to drop Dread, because then I can do this. Aspect of Hate? Ooh, spicy. This is a Dread, right? This is a Dread. We can all agree on that, right?
I know what I must do.
Indubitably.
Because they're probably really scared of this finisher, because that turns Anath off entirely. Yep, this is probably a Dread something, just to dodge the finisher. Oh. Well, that's nice. Not Dread, sorry, I meant Havoc. Sorry, those two attacks just kind of meld together in my head.
Back.
I need a better position.
Take it back. And I want to keep my current finisher card to threaten my opponent. So Overlords is actually another use. It has reveal opponent has -1 priority. It's very good when you don't know whether or not your opponent will anti their prio token. And it essentially guarantees that you have priority equal to the number of curses they have. Because if they do anti it, the curses give prio -1 by default. If they don't anti it, then Overlord's effect activates. So it's just more of a guaranteed thing. The same goes for Enervating and the power. Soak aspect was to be expected, I believe. Devastation now. Oh my gosh. Finishers, man. Okay, Anath has too much start to beat movement. I definitely can't just play Black Eclipse for no reason. I could play Overlord's Malediction. I could also play Unyielding Strike. Dread can very much... Havoc, sorry, can very much kill me right now. So I have to find a way to counter it. Which would be to play Overlord's Drive.
What course to take?
Yeah, definitely play the Overlord's Drive. Anti for power.
I will not be stopped.
This shouldn't have the ability to kill me, as far as I know.
Behold!
Oh, unless it's this. That's actually quite frightening. Oh, okay, we're fine. Yes! The Overlord's priority worked! So we'll definitely not pull. We'll only advance one.
Away with you.
And do not move the opponent. And now they're forced out of soak aspect, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, and they've been forced into aspect of death. This is actually really good for me. Yes! Oh my gosh. So, the only way for them to hit is this thing. Because then that's advance, and then 3. And then Dread Havoc works. I think that's it. This will be too slow. Yeah, because Anath has no positive priority. They could do Devastation now. I think Enervating Malediction is the correct play. Because it has Stun Guard 4 right now.
My time grows short.
I am ready to act.
Intriguing.
If this is a burst, I think I don't lose, but I don't win either. Oh no, wait, but because they played Dread Burst exactly, I think I'm okay. I mean, I don't win, but I stun them. So that's good. I think this is about a quote-unquote ideal result in my opinion. I don't know why they played Dread Burst. Had they just played regular Burst, they would have been fine.
Dare?
This game is becoming more and more interesting. So now, I'm gonna switch dodge
Indubitably.
and go to my finisher other side. So 0 Hour deals 3 damage to my opponent if they have a curse. And my opponent has 3 life, and it can kill, unlike most other loss of life effects. And if they end up using Dread on this beat right now, I think I win. So we'll just have to see how things go. So essentially, this incentivizes my opponent to anti everything next beat. But if I'm smart enough, I'm able to read whatever fastest attack they have and then counter with my own fastest attack.
I have no regrets.
This is a very close game, with a lot of mistakes on both sides.
A few mistakes, but that was one.
Such power.
They made few mistakes, but that was indeed one. Oh my gosh. So now we can check whether or not my opponent will do Havoc. Because if my opponent does do Havoc, I'm not going to change my finisher. Cataclysmic dodge. Oh my gosh. So if the ideal play for my opponent, I think, retreat 3 spaces. So I should advance 1 space.
Onward!
So my opponent didn't get rid of Havoc.
I march onward.
And they kept it, so we're definitely swapping. So this basically reads, opponent must now anti-token. And their most powerful attack is this Havoc. That doesn't hit. This Havoc. That does hit. Oh my gosh, a lot of guessing here. So I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of Havoc play. So Havoc. This is quite frustrating. Oh wait, they have even less priority and even less power. So it has to... It won't kill me. I definitely have to play a burst.
As I anticipated.
This is such a crazy game. Basically, everything comes down to whether or not my opponent chooses to anti this. They're probably not antiing. Oh my gosh.
Such power.
If this is just a leashing strike or a leashing drive, I think I lose. Oh, there you go. There's the leashing Havoc that I was literally expecting. So my opponent has to go here. I can retreat. So my opponent has to go here. Only has a range of 3, but I can retreat to range 4. Oh no, wait! I miscalculated! Oh no! Oh no! I'm so mad. I miscalculated.
With you.
I forgot that she could move 1! I forgot that she could move 1! I forgot that she could move 1! Oh no! Such a close game. Such a close game! Ah, now I regret everything.
No mercy.
Why do you refuse to listen?
Had I played Enervating. Had I played Enervating.
I can't go back.
Not yet.
Another hindrance removed.
Wonderful game. Wonderful game, Blackheart. Excellent game. Let's move on to the post-game analysis. So, that was such an excellent game. A few mistakes here and there, like during my starting discards. And on that last beat, had I just played 0 Hour, I could have won. I could have won. Ugh. But alas, such is the case when you play Rexan. So Rexan's a very cool character, and arguably one of BattleCON Online's strongest due to his high amounts of hit confirm and huge damage trading potential. However, as that game demonstrates, it can be quite problematic if your opponent outspeeds you, as you do tend to have a lot of very slow attacks without stun guard. In the end, what really made that game, in my opinion, was that I was generally playing poorly, especially on that last beat. I forgot what my opponent's effective ranges were, and if I had just played Enervating instead of playing Overlords because of time pressure, unfortunately, I could have possibly won due to timeout, but that's absolutely fine. An excellent game on Blackheart's part. They got me with a few moves that ate through my stun guard that I wasn't expecting. And especially that leashing grasp move was a very, very good on their part. I feel that that was a very good game and shows that Rexan has some really powerful tools when used correctly. In my opinion, I should have just gone for that 50-50 mix-up and done 0 hour to kill my opponent. Sadly, that didn't happen on camera, and sadly, I wish I had done it. Regardless, that pretty much does it for this episode of Making Connections, and I do hope all of you enjoyed this video featuring our new character, Rexan. Just note that this is not an indication of how strong Rexan is competitively, because I am not a competitive tournament player. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button, give me a comment, and press that like button, and subscribe. If you have not yet and want to see all level 99 games stuff, please click the bell button so that you're always notified and it doesn't get lost in your feed. Without much else to say, don't forget your special action, and thank you, World of Indians. Thank you, and good night.